Good morning and welcome to the August 19th Board of Supervisors meeting. We'll start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. Julia?
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll start out with a presentation, Child Support Services. We're going to adopt a proclamation of appreciation which recognizes North Coast Regional Child Support for their continued commitment to the child and families of Trinity County in light of the National Child Support Awareness Month. Whereas August is Child Support Awareness Month, an annual time to raise awareness about critical income support programs that help the millions of children and families. Whereas in fiscal year 24-25, child support programs nationwide collected $26.67 billion and served 1 in 5 children in the United States. Whereas in fiscal year 24-25, the state of California Support Agency distributed almost $2.5 billion to families. And whereas child support is recognized nationwide as one of the most cost-effective government programs, collecting over $4 for every $1 spent. Whereas the Office of Child Support Services is rated as one of the most effective anti-poverty programs, reducing the child poverty by 7% nationwide. And whereas in fiscal year 24-25, our local child support program distributed $9,765,861 directly to families in Humboldt and Trinity counties. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Trinity proclaims August 2025 as Child Support Awareness Month and commends the terms of Northern Coast Regional Child Support for their commitment to serving the families in our community. Duly passed and adopted this 19th day of August 2025 by the Board of Supervisors. Feel free.
Thank you. We gladly accept this proclamation for our department. Deb and I, over the past month, within July, we've already collected $700,000 in child support. So I am so appreciative of the department and everything that we have contributed and can continue to contribute for the County of Trinity and Humboldt. Thank you.
Super. Thank you very much.
Move to approve the proclamation as presented.
I will second.
Supervisor Gogan.
Aye.
Supervisor Lutweiler.
Aye.
Supervisor Brownfield.
Aye.
Supervisor Carpenter Harris.
Public comment. This is for information from the public on matters not appearing on this agenda or within the consent calendar. All comments are limited to 3 minutes and must pertain to matters within the jurisdiction of the board. When addressing the board, please state your name for the record and address the board as a whole through the chair. No action or discussion will be conducted on matters not listed on the agenda. However, the chair may refer the subject matter to the appropriate departments for follow-up or schedule the matter on subsequent board agendas. Do we have any public comment in the room?
Good morning, Chair, Supervisors, Lisa Wright, Lewiston. First, I wanted to make you aware of an event that Flora is sponsoring on September 4th at 4 p.m. That's a Thursday at Rope and Ronda's. It's an educational event designed to better inform people of how to get into the legal cannabis program in the state of California and Trinity County. Super important and educational effort because there's a lot of misinformation and misconception around what is legal and what isn't and what's allowed medical and personal and so on. We also have a great deal of language barriers, particularly in the Post Mountain area, so education is extremely important. That leads me to a request that the board review what appears to be a policy change at the cannabis division level, in which code compliance staff, which typically does inspections for new licenses as well as renewal reviews, has been redirected to be issuing NOVs for potentially unpermitted cannabis. This is not part of our cannabis program. And even if you are funding it out of a different fund, not through the fee payers, which you should not be, because it's not a benefit to the fee payer to have code compliance staff out in the field on non-program related activities. We need staff. Okay, right now, my company has over 30 new license applications in our queue, 7 of which are ready to go to staff, and there is inadequate staff to be receiving those applications. Those are small businesses. This is your biggest industry in Trinity County with over 350 small businesses. No other business development effort is being undertaken in this fashion at all in this county. This is your biggest opportunity to actually have some, not only property tax value, sales tax, but cultivation tax increase. So it's very disappointing, and I believe it's a policy direction that needs to come from this board, not from direction of the CAO's office or of staff. So I would ask you to agendize that for further discussion. If they had available time, then you could hire them, but currently they're funded and fully allocated for full-time positions through the budgets that you have approved. That indicates policy direction has been given that is not being followed. Second, there's been an appeal submitted that impacts a number of small businesses regarding the Planning Commission's decision that's now going over a month. I don't understand why this is being delayed and coming to this board. I don't know if you've been informed of it. I believe it was legitimately filed and executed within the 10-day period, but nothing is coming before this board or has been agendized. That needs to happen as soon as possible. There's no reason for a delay. Regardless of whether you have someone on medical leave, you have a quorum and you must proceed. Otherwise, all business needs to stop if it's being held up because of one person not being on the board. So I ask you to take action on that as well. And make sure, if you could, that this appears on the next agenda, the pending appeal. So you don't further hold up small business, which is being impacted by this. So I appreciate your time and have a good day.
Thank you. Any more public comment in the room? Any on Zoom?
Lisa?
Yes, hi. I'd like to know when I could pull an item on the agenda regarding the tourism board or
Can you speak
request
up just a little bit? Sorry about that.
Yeah, could I request one of the supervisors or Chair Gogan remove the item on the agenda regarding the tourism board?
I would have to ask Margaret that.
Yep, that we would not do that at this moment. This is public comment, but you can pull an item from consent. Oh, it's not a consent.
Consent, it's item
Yeah.
E2, and it will be An opportunity for public comment will be made when the board addresses that item later in the agenda.
So when we get to that item, if you'd like to pull that for discussion, we certainly can. So stick around till that comes up on the agenda.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Any other?
Trinity Alps Canicroft.
Good morning, board. This is Matt Jefferson, Trinity Center. I just wanted to speak in support of Lisa Wright's comments. Very well said, and I speak in support of them. Thank you.
Thank you.
I show no other raised hands.
Can I speak for a second? Is it time for me to speak, to say, just to ask to have that agendized? What Lisa Wright was asking for, I'd like to have agendized.
Okay,
If possible.
We can take that up.
Okay.
Reports and announcements. Any department heads have any reports or announcements? Good morning, Liz.
Good morning, Chair, Supervisors. Liz Hamilton, Director of Health and Human Services Agency and Office of Emergency Services. So with Health and Human Services, we're nearing our 6-month mark of behavioral health coming into our agency. And I just want to report that transition is going very well. I'm really just thankful to staff support. We have the collaboration and the ability to serve the community has just continued to increase. And I'm really proud of the effort. Change is very difficult. On to OES matters. There's been a lot of conversation about the bomb robot made front page of the news. I wanted to provide education and some information to you, board, and then the community as a benefactor of that. When I want to say that the Homeland Security Grant is one of 2 grants that we use to operate OES, and it's a very collaborative process. Homeland Security is a federal grant. It is prescribed in how we use it. Any of you that are familiar with the reporting on grants, the complexity that is related to those, I wanted to provide information. 35% of our Homeland Security Grant is earmarked for law enforcement. We work very closely with the sheriff, and while I will not speak for him, I would like to appreciate our collaboration over the years when it comes to spending money and evaluating. This 35% is earmarked for terrorism prevention. And when we have requests that come forward on ways in which we can meet that need, we come together as a team. Our approach is very strategic, looking at best interests of the community, how we can serve, especially when we have these very narrow buckets to spend certain money in. And so, when this topic came up, we also kind of flesh out ideas, if you will, with our whole disaster council. There are 30 different distinct entities that are invited to our disaster council. We meet bi-monthly. In addition to attending fire chiefs meeting, fire safe council, we're very involved with our first responders and just our local law enforcement community to offer support. When it comes to the financing, we have a body of 5 that meets and approves all requests received from first responders, law enforcement throughout the year. So we meet twice a year to look at our 2 grants, how we can spend it, and then we submit that to the state and federal government for final approval. So this is not done in a vacuum. There's a process that I can appreciate. And, speaking to feedback or comment about, I think there's a curiosity, maybe it comes out as a statement, but a curiosity of what we do to support our local first responders. And this month actually marks 8 years that we have had OES in our shop. 8 years, we have supported over $500,000 into our volunteer fire departments alone. And I know that they feel very supported, and that is across all the fire departments, not just 1 or 2. That is us reaching out and talking with those fire chiefs and So I just wanted to provide that information, and just want there to be an appreciation that there's always more, and I welcome curiosity and questions. I'm happy to bring back any particular information if the board has certain questions. With that, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
And make a comment, please.
Certainly.
I just want to comment. I appreciate, Director, you sharing that information, and I think it's important for us to have as much transparency and clarity about these things, because in the vacuum, we can see that the ideas get created and conspiracy theories get produced and supported. And so it's just great to hear that information. And I have witnessed in both the Fire Chiefs Association meetings, the disaster councils and others that, the Office of Emergency Services has been a huge partner to the volunteer fire departments and provided training, support, materials, the jaws of life, the radios, so many things that are so important. And I appreciate that you're helping people have clarity about how we make these decisions.
May I make a comment?
Please.
Thank you so much for sharing that and for shining a light on the way that decisions are made and the recognition that certain monies are earmarked for certain things. I also, in the context of some of the public comment and different things on social media and so forth that were made about the robot in specific, is I would like to bring attention to the truth that our OES, our sheriff's department, our volunteer fire department, and those organizations within the county that support those oftentimes have information that has been funneled to them all the way down from federal concerns to state concerns to north state concerns to regional concerns, and patterns are being watched and things are being tracked, and information is being shared county to county and state to state and region to region. And so although it may seem as if we don't need to have a concern in a specific area, I can assure you that the folks who are engaged in protecting us have information that the general public does not have privilege to, because it's operations that we are not, aware of, or that they're just not public. So sometimes decisions are made for us that are best for us, and we have to trust that that information is coming through channels that we are not privileged to have. So I just want to respect those people in those positions and honor the fact that they may know more than others sometimes, and to respect that.
Thank you. Any other comments? Please go ahead, Julie.
Also, it's good for the public to understand what OES is. They need to look at it. They need to research it. They need to look at our department and what they provide and what they do. It's a good educational thing for people to get used to seeing what that department does. So I encourage people to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other reports from department heads? Sheriff Saxon, how are you today?
Excellent, Chair, and yourself.
Good.
Wonderful. Happy to hear that. A couple of quick items to point out. Last week, we had our annual Board of State Community Corrections inspection. I just wanted to share some positive news with you and the public about our county jail. Thanks to improved funding and increased staffing, including hiring some more female correctional deputies, we had a very positive report. Our facility continues to progress and meet state standards. The BSCC representative praised our clean and well-maintained facility, highlighted the professionalism of our staff. And I do want to shout out especially to Correctional Deputy Green and Cadet Press that we have recently hired within the last few months. They confidently and appropriately answered all the questions from our BSCC representative. Again, they're relatively new, and our training programs that we have in place enable them to answer those questions, and the representative was very impressed. No major safety or compliance issues were found during the inspection. There were a couple of things that have come up to the board, specifically on the last few board agendas, and that is our fire alarm systems and our windows that are being replaced. The inspector did realize that we are in the process of doing that, took that into account, and will follow up on those inspections. So I just wanted to also mention and shout out to our CAO and our Director of Health and Human Services that a big shout out needs to go to them for the support that they've done in improving a lot of the conditions there, working with myself and my staff to obtain the resources to address the previously identified concerns that we've been faced with our facility over the last few years. And I also want to address the board and tell all of you, thank you very much for your continued support in keeping our community safe with supporting everything that we've come to you and come to the CAO. So thank you very much on that. Along those same lines, I want to announce that we're testing right now for Sheriff Deputy 1-2. The test or the application process will close on the 26th, and we'll be doing testing shortly thereafter. My hopes on that is, as I've mentioned to a couple of the supervisors separately, is within the next couple of years to be able to get the deputies out into the outlying areas to continue what we've not been able to do the last few years and get our resident post programs back up and running again, especially downriver and down the southern part of the county. So we're really gearing up for that. We're also testing for a part-time property room technician to continue on with our evidence rooms and getting those back online. That closes on the 28th. So I encourage anybody that you may know or anybody in the public that might be interested in that, please apply. And in a continuing effort to improve public safety and respond to investigations in a timely manner, we've been moving forward in a process of using grant funds to obtain fixed location automated license plate recognition readers. Those would be placed throughout the county in various locations as an investigative tool to help us as we're looking for missing persons, burglary suspects, to help us for Amber Alert notifications, search and rescue, and also as we try and look for kidnapping suspects or victims of human trafficking. So we're continuing moving forward on that, trying to put a contract in place. And again, these would be used and purchased through grant funds, not through any type of general funds or any type of funding through the county. So we're moving forward on that. We currently have a policy in place with our Lexipol policy for our department. And I'll be bringing you more information on that as we get closer.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sheriff, just had a question. What was that last thing? What was it?
The automated license plate readers,
I thought there was something after that.
we're using grant funds for that. So I will not be using any general fund money through the county.
Yeah, I must have just misread. I thought you said one more thing after all of that you were mentioning, and they would bring
So
something to
you'll be
us.
hearing more about that
Oh, okay.
shortly.
I thought I missed a new subject, so thank you.
No. And I do appreciate the comments from Director Hamilton with regard to OES and from Supervisor Harris with regard to some information that does come to law enforcement is not able to be shared with the public for certain confidential reasons, for certain ongoing investigative reasons. And that is to retain continuity of those investigations. They do rise above county law enforcement. Some of them have nationwide impacts. Some of them have international impacts. So I do appreciate your understanding and the public's understanding, and to ask them to remain in the context of trying to keep rumors to a minimum so that we can continue to have a viable conduit of sharing information with those agencies that we need to without having to address rumors day after day after day. That's time consuming. It takes a lot of energy away from my staff who need to focus on trying to move forward on these investigations. So with that, if there's no other questions, thank you very much for your time.
Make one more. Sorry. I just wanted to offer a compliment, Sheriff. I reached out to you the other day and ended up speaking with Sergeant Trujillo. And we had an incident where our credit card account had been hacked and somebody had ordered 4 gaming laptops to be delivered to some other location. We found out just as those were about to be delivered.
Personal.
Yeah, they're basically on our card, we're buying laptops. And my point of mentioning this is when I talked to our team, it was, oh yeah, please, if that was happening here, here's what we do, here's how we address it, here's what we do. They tried to even help us get another sheriff's department where they were being delivered to act. They wouldn't even respond. It just blew them off. And I just think it's a testament to the focus and the intent and the quality of our sheriff's department that they were all ready to jump on it and help address a crime as it was being committed. And another agency just decided it wasn't worth their time. So I appreciate your team's
Thank you.
leadership.
Thanks. I appreciate those comments, and it's true that a lot of other departments right now, due to their overwhelming workloads, they, for example, don't even respond to many of the calls that we still try to respond to. If nothing else, we are attempting to make telephone contact to at least document it. Many of the other agencies now will just tell you, go to the website, fill out a report for your insurance, and that's end of contact. So we are still attempting to make personal contact to gather information that we can and at least do a little bit of follow-up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And Rick, now you'll know I don't have a laptop. The effort was there though.
Yeah,
I tried.
you tried.
Okay. Any other reports from any department heads in the room on Zoom?
I show none.
Reports from CEO Tuthill.
Thank you, Chair. Got a couple items. On August 6th, I participated in the RCRC-led jail medical services working group down in Shasta County. This was a 5-county Northern California area regional concept. There's different regions throughout the state, and RCRC is leading the effort on all of these. This was the second meeting, and the group decided to go forward with a request for proposal on a study effort to determine, the best medical service methodologies within detention facilities in general. We'll see how the proposals come back and what the cost will be for the study. The concept is the cost for the study and the RFP would be divided among the participating counties. This concept has been shared, with our local staff. This is nothing short-term. This is much more of a longer-term effort as far as statewide. How do we collectively as counties manage detention facilities with the realities that we're facing as far as operating budgets, lawsuits, liabilities, standards the state's mandated on us, and the lack of funding that comes with that. So this is a much longer term effort, and this is being done in coordination with our current staff and the significant efforts we have made locally to improve our medical efforts within our jail. We are fairly unique in how we operate our jail. Most other jurisdictions, contract this out to a third party. And that methodology has proven to also be very challenging and very costly, and also comes with a fair amount of liability with it as well for the county. So more information to come on this, but know that our county is participating in this RCRC-led effort, and it is ongoing throughout the state. Also know that staff is following this possible November special election for congressional redistricting. If this becomes a reality, which it looks like it will, this will be a significant effort for the county on our very small elections staff. There more than likely will be a cost associated with this, but depending upon the source you look at, the state is making statements that they will cover the cost, but oftentimes that doesn't in fact cover all the costs. So again, more to come on this. We've got some meetings this week on it, and you can look in the media as well as I can as far as why this is happening and some of the deadlines. But it does look like it's gonna happen, and this is gonna be, a significant effort for our staff and county. Also know that a large percentage of staff who drive county vehicles have now participated in a collision avoidance training, which has been provided by a certified instructor through Trindell. The name of the program is 5 Keys, and if you are in or drive county vehicles, you might notice some information in the vehicles on the program. There's some small stickers and that kind of stuff, just to remind those drivers and to refocus their efforts on the critical aspects of safe driving and really defensive and being very aware as you're driving. So lots of staff have attended that. It's been well received, and the goal there is to hope to reduce some of our claims long term as we focus on the training aspect. Also know that budget work continues. We're making progress towards releasing the proposed budget book, which is scheduled to be released no later than September 7th. We're working adjustments right now with departments and confirming some of those adjustments to making sure that the impact is known. And then we're gonna, again, work towards the September 8th release of the public proposed budget book. And that's all I've got for right now.
Thank you, CEO Tuttle. We will go to the board for any reports out. We'll start with Supervisor Brownfield.
Okay, thank you. So I have met with Post Mountain PUD again. We're working through the issues that they're having with their board and different things, trying to get their public utility district up and running and fire department, and they're doing very well. Lots of progress being made in Post Mountain. I'm really excited for them. No out of town travel, and I would like to let people know that we've asked Cody Smith to come up to the Mad River Community Hall on the 22nd of this month. So it's this coming Friday from 12 o'clock to about 1. We may push that a little longer, but he'll be speaking about limited density, the limited density ordinance and the tiny home ordinance, and maybe answering a few questions about permitting. So we're really excited about that. We thank Cody for coming up. It's a wonderful opportunity for our community to learn about what's available to them in the building department. So thanks again, Cody, and we look forward to seeing everybody there. So it's just the 22nd, which is Friday at 12 o'clock noon at the community hall on Van Duzen in Mad River. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Supervisor Carpenter Harris.
Hello, everybody. I have to report out that I had, since last meeting, I attended the community forest meeting. I also sat in on the VOAD meeting. I had a community meeting in High and Palm, and we had some discussions about some of their highest priorities, which are always roads, and their concern with the slide and the development of the alternative route, which I was happy to be able to carry some information from Panos down there to let them know what the plans were. And they were grateful for that. And then I will be attending LAFCO this afternoon, and tomorrow I will be going to the Community Wildfire Defense Grant information briefing that's happening tomorrow in Willow Creek for some Western work that's being done on fuels reduction. I'd like to remind the communities of Post Mountain, Hyam Palm, and Junction City to not forget to go to their community meetings for the general plan. On Post Mountain is 9/16, Hyam Palm's 9/17, and Junction City is 9/18. So just put those on your calendars and make sure that you attend those. And I have no out-of-county travel in the last 2 weeks, so thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Lutwiler.
Yes, I did have out-of-county travel for the SCED board meeting. This is Economic Development Organization, so that meeting took place in Reading last week. And did not involve out-of-county travel, but I have been continuing the meetings regarding NORTEC, which is our workforce development organization. We have a meeting coming up on August 28th, and our hiring committee, which I've been chairing, will be presenting their recommendation for a new executive director. And we hope to have that all locked down in the first week of September, assuming the board supports the recommendation of the hiring committee. And that again is because the executive director, who's been there for quite some time, is retiring. And then on the tourism front, which we'll speak about a little bit later, but I wanted to here note that I've been meeting with leaders of several of the other TBID organizations around us, and with the leader of a digital marketing agency that provides online marketing services to several of those TBID organizations, so that I could just continue to do the research about what is possible if we are successful in getting something in place. Also met with some of our largest lodging business owners to better understand concerns about the way that things have been presented to date. That's it for me.
Thank you very much. I had no out-of-county travel. I did meet with PATH, our local group here in Trinity County, who works with young children for multiple reasons. This meeting was for how we can be more effective in reducing the amount of vaping that goes on with our younger generation and how difficult that is to do. I think they do a great job. There was a survey that was shown at the meeting, and Trinity County has the same problem as most counties do, and we are doing our best, and I think we're seeing some results of that now. There will also be a meeting coming up, and actually an open house coming up in September for the general public, where there will be food, drinks, a chance to talk to all the committee, all the people on those committees, and also a chance for anybody who wants to join that committee to sign up and join and help. As Supervisor Carpenter Harris mentioned, there will be a LAFCO meeting later today. Fire Safe Councils start the beginning second week of September, so a couple of weeks, 3 weeks from now. There is a cleanup on the river coming up September 7th, put on by RCD. If they want to, anybody would like to help there, that would be great. You can get hold of them for times and places to meet. Heidi also brought up the community plans, which this is the chance, and I highly recommend anybody who wants any input on their community to participate, attend, speak up. If you want something to happen in your community, it is time. We need participation, and those will guide us for the future. So I hope everybody can make every effort they can to get to those community plan meetings. We also have a flow increase coming up on the 22nd for the boat dance, the Hoopa biannual boat dance that they have on every odd year. And the increases in flows will start on the 22nd of this month. They will peak 2,300 CFS, I think it is, on Monday, the 23rd, and then it will be down to the general base flow, summer base flow of 450 on the 30th of September. I also have a TMC monthly call coming up this week, and that would be it for me. Say it again. Did I not say 35? Excuse me. So let me go back to the flow increases. August 22nd, they will ramp up. They will peak on Monday, August 23rd, and they will return to base flow on the 30th of August. I'm sorry for that. And thank you for catching it. That is it for me. We will move on to the consent calendar. These items include routine, non-controversial matters and will be acted upon by the board by one roll call motion. If a member of the public has any questions or comments on the item on the consent calendar, they may provide them now. A member of the board or staff may request an item to be pulled and considered separately. Do we have any items that need to be pulled? We can go, we'll start with public comment then. Go ahead. Yep, absolutely.
I would like to request some additional information on D4. The fee associated with the additional community workshops, $50,000 sounds pretty high. Is that going to be billed hourly? Is that a flat fee? How many staff is required? And then also, what is the balance in the general plan update fund? Thank you.
Thank you. So D4 has been pulled. Anybody?
We can pull it.
All right, we will consider pulling that. Is there any other? And Zoom.
Trinity Alps Canacraft.
Good morning, board. Matthew Jefferson, Trinity Center. I also want to speak on D4 and reiterate the same thing that Lisa said. And then, like, how do I put this? Like, I'm hoping you guys are looking at where that money is coming from. And if that money, that $50,000 is coming from cannabis fund dollars, like then it shouldn't be used, because those community plans are being used to weaponize. They're being used to hurt the cannabis growers. So if program dollars are being used to do those community plans, then you're breaking the law, because program dollars can only be used to benefit the program participants. So I hope that you're looking at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else on Zoom?
I show no other raised hands.
Okay, then we will,
So you did want to pull
we will pull
D4?
D4 it is.
Okay.
And we will take a vote on the rest of the consent calendar.
Anybody else
have
have an
something?
item?
Explanation on D16, the transportation amendment.
Do you want that pulled?
Just a quick question.
Okay, we're gonna pull D4 and D16. We got that right.
I'll make a motion to pass the consent calendar as presented, with the exception of the pulling of D4 and D16.
I will second that.
Supervisor Lutwiler.
Aye.
Supervisor Carpenter Harris.
Aye.
Supervisor Brownfield.
Aye.
Supervisor Gogan.
Aye. We will now go through the two pulled items, D4 and D16, with D4 coming up first. We will open that up to discussion.
Did CO want to address that? I mean, I think I saw that information in the.
I'm happy to address that. The information is in fact in the staff report as Exhibit C. It is a detailed breakdown of the $50,000. I have mentioned this $50,000 multiple times in previous board meetings when the board agreed to an additional round of community workshops. There's the breakdown of the various hours for the very specific items that add up to the $50,000 are included. As far as the funding, this is coming from the general plan update fund. There's approximately $250,000 currently in that fund, and That money comes not only from cannabis licenses, and as a reminder, for a new license, the general plan update fee is $1,000. For renewal licenses, it is only $75. And for building permits, other permits through the Community Development Department, for every one of those permits, a general plan update fee is also collected, and that is what's going into the fund that continues to provide funds for our general plan update. Any other questions I'm happy to address?
Any other questions from the board?
No, I would just like to thank you for making sure that the appropriate information was in the backup material so that we had the information we needed to make a decision.
Supervisor Carpenter Harris?
I have no other comments except for the material is provided.
Very good. We'll move on to D16.
Well, we need to vote.
We need to vote on it.
Excuse me.
I'll make a motion to pass D4 as presented.
So, question, council, I just can't, I know I should remember, when we pull an item like this and we have some questions answered and so forth, do we need to go back to public comment and then do our motion?
Correct. We do need public comment.
Thank you.
Okay, we will be taking public comment at this time. Any public comment in the room on D4? Any on Zoom?
I show no raised hands.
We will now vote.
I'll make a motion to pass D4 as presented.
A second.
Supervisor Lutwiler,
Aye.
Supervisor Carpenter Harris,
Aye.
Supervisor Brownfield,
Aye.
Supervisor Gokin.
Aye. We'll now move on to D16, transportation. Do we have anybody in the room who would like to speak on that from the county?
I can, Panos is here for any detailed questions. I'm happy to provide a quick overview of this. So as a reminder and just a refresher, so we use the CAL FIRE conservation crews for some fuels reduction and mitigation efforts this previous fiscal year for approximately $400 a day. You get a crew size of up to 15 individuals, and they are very skilled, very competent, and very efficient. And we have various county lands. Most of them are either along roadways or around bridges, and we can use this effort. This is a possibility of a way to supplement our crews, but it's all very dependent upon scheduling and priorities and working with CAL FIRE early, well prior to the fire season to get on their schedule. And then it's a fairly, I would say, fairly fluid schedule, even when you're on their schedule, because, at the drop of a hat, they could be called off onto a higher priority, either a fire or some other higher priority job. But our experience with them so far has been very positive, and we would like to, have them as another source of crew availability, if you will, depending upon what the needs are. And this is specifically for like fuels management, fuels reduction on public property, so on the county-owned property.
Thank you very much. Does the board have anything discussion?
Yeah, just one comment.
Questions and then the public comment.
Do we have any
Just one
questions?
question. So do we know where those fuel reductions, do we know where those will be done? Do we have a schedule on where and when?
We
those-
don't know specifically where they'll be done. The one that has been done so far was around two bridges here in Hayfork or in Weaverville that was associated with homeless encampment ad hoc and some of the issues that were brought up there. We're currently looking at some areas in Hayfork that are on county-owned public property for a similar type of effort. And, that scope could be expanded, but it just depends upon the feasibility and the scheduling of the crews.
Is that roadside type thing too, like the county jurisdiction on both sides of the road 20?
Not as much there. That hasn't been the focus to date. It could be. They do that kind of work, and we have used them in the past for that. It
Great.
just depends upon, the focus and priorities.
Thank you.
Just to clarify, this is not committing another 50,000. It is expanding the maximum
Correct.
expenditure by another 50.
It's just expanding the contract authority to go up to that if the need is there and if we have funding to support that effort. So then we wouldn't have to come back to the board for that authority. We could go on a fairly short notice scheduling. If the opportunity came up, we could work the details with CAL FIRE, the Conservation Corps crews, and work that out fairly quickly, which is like we've done in the past.
Thank you.
Supervisor Carpenter Harris, any questions?
No questions.
We'll open it up to public comment. Anyone in the room? Anyone on Zoom?
I show no raised hands.
I'll move to approve the matter as presented.
I'll second.
Supervisor Brownfield,
Aye.
Supervisor Lutwiler,
Aye.
Supervisor Carpenter Harris,
Aye.
Supervisor Gokin.
Aye. We will now move into county matters. These items include non-routine or controversial matters and are listed alphabetically by department. A member of the board, staff, or public may request that an item be heard out of order. Do we have any of the items that want to be pulled or heard out of order? ahead.
No, I'd
No?
like to read an email, if I may, on this after the DOT.
And Supervisor Lutwiler? Carpenter Harris?
I do not wish to move anything.
Do we have